Hey TechKnowStuds, in this video, we're gonna go over counting in hexadecimal. So we're gonna jump right into it. One of the best ways to learn something is jump in and just start doing it. So that's what I'm gonna challenge you to do here in a little bit. But before we do that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of instruction here. So number one is what we're doing here is really no different than in binary numbers or with the decimal system. I've shown you how to use those numbering charts with that. Use the same one here and the same concepts to fill this out. The other thing is you can't represent, if we have a single column here, we can represent 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fairly easy and count up that way. But once we hit 10, that takes 2 digits in decimal. So instead of writing out 10, we would do A. And then instead of 11, that would be B. 12 would be C, 13 D, 14 E, 15 F. I've got that all written here. And then of course, don't forget to reset that column and carry something over to the next column. So go ahead and go through this process. I'm gonna give you a chance to pause the video, try counting in hexadecimal and see how well you can do with just the little instruction that I've given you so far. Here's the answer to check your work. Go ahead and check it out. You can pause the video, check it out, and see how well you did, and then we'll come back and discuss what this looks like in case you have any questions. So go ahead and check your work. All right, and to count with this, here again, we're gonna start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all pretty much straightforward and follows the decimal system, so nothing too different there. And then if you were figured it out, then you go into those numbers, A, B, C, D, E, F. And once we get to F, that represents all 15, all 16, 0 through 15 numbers here for this first column. We would reset this and carry 1 over to the next column. So now we're at 1 on the next column. And then we go through that process all over again. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and so on and so forth. So that's how to do hexadecimal numbers and figure out, or how to count in hexadecimal. Here's an exercise to further test your knowledge. So go ahead and go through here and figure out what the next number is for each of these sequences. I'll give you a chance to pause the video and go through this, and then you can hit play and then check your answers. Here are the answers. Go ahead and hit pause, check your work, see how well you did. And then we'll come back and I'll run through all of these in case you have any questions. I'll go ahead and go through all of this process just in case you have any questions. If I were to take the hexadecimal number of 23 and add 1 to it, that would be 24. It's pretty straightforward. Same thing with this A1, adding 1 to it, it just becomes A2. If we add 1 to DE, that becomes a little more interesting, but it's still not that far off because the next thing that comes after E is F, so that is a DF. AF gets a little bit more tricky because if we're going to add 1 to it, what we do is we reset that first column and that becomes a 0. We carry a 1 to the next column and that becomes a B. So we end up with B0 for that one. 19, the next one would be 1A because what comes after 9 is A. So that could get a little tricky. FD, so the next one is FE. 3F, we add 1 to that. The F becomes a 0. We carry the 1 and that becomes 40. And then 8, 9, we add 1 to that and it becomes 8A. So there's the answers for all of those problems.